Now let's discuss the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, which is on everyone's mind right now. If we get the approval from the SEC and Mr. Gensler, this can help usher in literally $30 trillion into the Bitcoin market cap. Now, with the Bitcoin market cap currently sitting at roughly $500 billion, we're talking about literally 60x from here. Now, if the price action did a 60x, I mean, we're in the ballpark of $1.5 million per coin. So let's break this baby down, shall we? I'm going to actually be sharing multiple predictions with you here. The number of regulatory requests to offer a spot Bitcoin ETF coming from a range of institutional financial firms has led to bullish speculation to remain remarkable excitement for the crypto market, to say the least, as the US SEC considers such filings from BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, controlling $10 trillion in assets under management. We have Fidelity, they control $4.5 trillion. We have ARK Invest, Cathie Wood's company, plus so much more. So it seems like at least one upcoming approval will come in a matter of time. The SEC is set to hit its next set for deadlines for the approval decisions mid-October, knowing October is only a week and a half out. So investors are left to speculate about which firm might receive the approval first. So let me know your thoughts. How many of you think that the Bitcoin ETF approval could get the green light as soon as October, which is the next deadline? Let me know. I think more than likely Gensler is going to kick the can down the road until next year, as they seem to be doing that since the inception of Bitcoin ETFs have been accepted or submitted to the SEC. They've been declining them literally for over a decade now. So more than likely, I think it's to get the approval next year, right before the halving, creating the perfect storm. But let me know your thoughts, fam. Now, Mark Yusko, Chief Investment Officer of the Managing Director hedge fund Morgan Creek Capital, is picking BlackRock for the first to get the green light, quoting him here. I believe, and I've said multiple times, that BlackRock will be the first one. Yusko said during a recent appearance on the Paul Barron Network, I might even go stronger and say they might be the only one. It's certainly possible. Do you think BlackRock will get that monopoly? Let me know, fam. What's probably more likely is BlackRock first, then a Gap, and then some number of others. But the thing is, whoever's first is going to get the vast majority of assets. I think he makes a great point. Now, Yusko's prediction that BlackRock will receive the first mover advantage in offering a spot Bitcoin ETF leads him to believe the product will capture the lion's share of the $30 trillion currently managed by the firms that would seek Bitcoin exposure through a regulated ETF product. Now, even given that so much Bitcoin is locked into wallets that may never be accessed again or sitting in the hands of hyper-convicted hodlers who won't sell, Yusko went on to make a bold prediction for how much institutional capital will impact the Bitcoin price. He put a dollar figure for a free float Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin that is readily available to the market at just $100 billion. Quoting Yusko here, I believe the ETF will be approved sometime around year end. That will pave the way for a very large influx of capital. Let's say 1/10 of 1% of the predicted 30 trillion comes in. That's $30 billion, and 30 billion on 100 billion. What will the price be? Yusko added that Bitcoin's upcoming reward halving event, when the Bitcoin rewards that miners receive is programmatically cut in half, will create conditions of a parabolic price increase, leading to be decidedly bullish price target. There is a built-in mechanism, he says, to drive the price higher. Every halving has added a zero, he explained, adding that he thinks the effect of this next halving will be relatively muted, but can still drive the Bitcoin price exponentially. That gives us about $150,000 per Bitcoin or something like that. Well, let's dive more specifically into 30 trillion being unlocked into the market. Now, again, if we were to 60x the current Bitcoin price and market cap, we're talking about a $1.5 million Bitcoin price action. So Eric Balchunas, he is the Bloomberg ETF head analyst, FYI. He believes that the 30 trillion worth of capital could be made available to the Bitcoin market if a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved, the same as Mark Yusko, which I just covered. The analyst stated that a spot Bitcoin ETF can serve as a bridge between the Bitcoin market and an impressive amount of capital. That's right. When asked why the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US would be a big deal, Balchunas stated that financial advisors and the old generation of investors prefer their investments delivered in an ETF, a format that they are more familiar and comfortable with. Quoting Balchunas here, ETF is the format in which the boomers and the financial advisors prefer their investments delivered, and this matters because financial advisors manage about $30 trillion worth of assets. Now, a major talking point in some crypto crypto investment circles, the spot Bitcoin ETF is yet to be approved by the SEC. In fact, over the past decade, the regulator rejected as many as 30 spot Bitcoin ETFs from firms such as Gemini, Fidelity, Wisdom Tree, etc. However, Balchunas notes the odds of approval in the next year have increased to about 50%. And he actually went on since then and said there is a 95% chance of that spot Bitcoin ETF approval in 2024. He attributed this to the recent filing by BlackRock, sharing that the high-level asset manager, which holds roughly $10 trillion in assets under management, is very smart, and they don't just throw filings out willy-nilly. They clearly see something out there that they think can get through to the regulators. And commenting on when we are likely to hear from the SEC, obviously that next deadline is October. Let me know, fam, if you feel it's likely to get pushed back once again. Now let's discuss the BlackRock and Coinbase deal, not even the ETF, but just the BlackRock Coinbase deal, sending the Bitcoin price parabolic to 773,000 per coin, according to crypto analyst Invest Answers, as well as Dan Shapiro. So let's break this down, how they arrive at this number. If BlackRock puts 0.5% of their assets under management into Bitcoin, using my multiplier, which is 21x, that will impact the market cap by $1 trillion, which will add about $75,000 to the Bitcoin price. Now, taking it to 98,000 and an ROI from today's price is 326%. This is very, very achievable. Now, if they allocate just 1%, which of course will take time to get to that level, that would add about 2.1 trillion to the market cap. So $150,000 to the price would take the future price of Bitcoin to 173,000, which is a 652% gain from here. And if they add 5%, which is what Dan Tapiero says, I think it is way too aggressive, but maybe over time, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, that could be possible. That would take the price of Bitcoin to $773,000 per coin in the next 3 to 5 years pretty easily. I mean, the numbers don't lie. What are your thoughts, fam? Now, the chart that got BlackRock excited about the partnership with Coinbase is right here, quoting him, "No bigger a macro opportunity for BlackRock than acting to facilitate the Bitcoin adoption. A 5% shift in BlackRock assets is $500 billion. That's greater than the Bitcoin value today. A catalyst for a path to $250,000 plus Bitcoin post Bitcoin halving is becoming clear." And these predictions were made at the end of last year before BlackRock submitted this recent application to the SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF, only making it that much more bullish. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go and which spot ETF application do you feel is most likely to get approved first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And if you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and make sure to hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as I greatly appreciate each and every one of your support.